That slow, sleepy walk to the bathroom at 2 a.m. It's so much more than a simple interruption, isn't it? It's a quiet thief that slips into your bedroom not to steal your valuables, but something far more precious, your deep, restorative sleep. It robs you of the very peace your body and mind have been craving all day, leaving you feeling cheated, foggy, and drained when the morning alarm finally blares. What if I told you that one of the healthiest habits you're so carefully practicing right before bed is the very thing sabotaging your rest? It's not what you think, and the solution, I promise you, is beautifully and powerfully simple. Stick with me through this video because this isn't just another list of generic sleep tips. By the end, you will not only understand the simple, elegant science behind why this frustrating pattern becomes so common as we get older, but you'll be armed with the one single powerful rule to reclaim your nights for good. This isn't just about sleeping better, it's about rediscovering what it feels like to wake up with the energy, clarity, and vitality that you truly deserve. Don't click away from the key that will unlock the door to your best possible sleep. Nightly struggle. Let's just sit with that feeling for a moment. The feeling of being forcibly pulled from a deep, warm sleep. It's rarely a gentle nudge, is it? More often, it's an urgent, undeniable call from your own body, a physical demand that you simply can't ignore or postpone. One moment you're adrift in a pleasant dream, cocooned in warmth and silence, and the next, your eyes are open, staring into the familiar darkness of your bedroom. The first thought is often a quiet groan, a profound sense of resignation. Not again, you might think to yourself, the frustration already beginning to simmer. The warmth of the blanket suddenly feels like a safe harbor you're being forced to leave against your will. And then comes the physical act of it all, a clumsy choreography performed in the dark. You have to consciously swing your legs over the side of the bed, your feet searching for slippers in the cool air, taking care not to stumble on a misplaced shoe or rug corner. The floor feels colder than you remember, a shock to your system. Every step to the bathroom becomes a careful, reluctant negotiation with the quiet of the house, a slow, deliberate shuffle. You're trying not to wake your partner, trying not to make a sound that will shatter the stillness, but inside, your mind is already whirring back to life. The soft glow from a nightlight, or perhaps the sudden, shocking brightness of the bathroom light, feels like a physical assault on your tired eyes. It's a moment that feels both maddeningly routine and profoundly disruptive. It slices your precious night clean in two. The challenge, as so many of us know, doesn't end when you get back into bed. In fact, for a lot of people, the real battle is just beginning. You lay your head back on the pillow, which now feels somehow less comfortable. You close your eyes and wait patiently for sleep to return, to welcome you back into its embrace. But it's not as easy as flipping a switch. Your mind, which was blissfully quiet just a few minutes ago, can suddenly start to race. You might start thinking about a deadline at work, or an email you forgot to send. You might start replaying a difficult conversation from the day before, analyzing every word. Then the sleep-specific anxiety kicks in. You start worrying about whether you'll be able to fall back asleep at all, and then, inevitably, you start calculating how many hours are left until the alarm goes off. Okay, if I fall asleep right now, I can still get 3.5 hours. That anxiety, that frustrating mental chatter, is the second thief of the night. The first thief was the physical urge that woke you, but the second is the insidious worry that keeps you awake. You might find yourself tossing and turning, punching your pillow, trying to find that perfect, comfortable position again, but it feels elusive, lost. The peaceful state you were in is gone, replaced by a hyper-awareness of being awake when you should be asleep. This is not just a minor inconvenience. Let's be very clear about that. This is a fundamental disruption to your body's most important restorative process. Deep, non-REM sleep, the kind that happens in long, uninterrupted cycles, is where the real magic happens. It's the time when your body diligently repairs muscle and tissue, when your immune system strengthens itself, and critically, when your brain performs its nightly cleanse, washing away metabolic debris and toxins like amyloid beta, which is linked to neurodegenerative diseases. It's also when memories are consolidated, moving from short-term to long-term storage. When that vital process is constantly fragmented, night after night, the sleep debt accumulates with interest. This nightly pattern takes a serious toll, and it's a toll that extends far beyond the confines of the bedroom. You feel its heavy presence the moment you wake up. Instead of feeling refreshed and ready to embrace the day, you feel like you're recovering from a long flight or a mild illness. There's a persistent grogginess, a mental fog that even a strong cup of coffee can't quite seem to cut through. Your energy levels are low from the very start, forcing you to push through the day on sheer willpower rather than genuine vitality. This can't help but affect your mood, making you feel more irritable, more impatient, or emotionally fragile. It can dampen your enthusiasm for the very things you normally love, whether it's spending quality time with your family, pursuing a hobby, or simply enjoying the quiet pleasure of a morning sunrise. It's a heavy weight to carry, this feeling of being perpetually unrested. It can make simple tasks feel monumental and can steadily chip away at your sense of well-being. And we haven't even fully touched on the safety aspect, which is a very real and valid concern for so many. Getting out of bed in the middle of the night when you're disoriented and half asleep and the house is dark significantly increases the risk of a trip, a stumble, or a serious fall. That is a worry that can linger in the back of your mind, adding another layer of stress to the entire experience. It's a vulnerability that nobody wants to feel, especially in the supposed safety of their own home. Your bedroom should be a sanctuary, a place of ultimate safety and rest, not a starting point for a hazardous journey. So many people I've spoken with over the years have simply resigned themselves to this reality. They've been told or have come to believe that waking up multiple times a night is just an unavoidable part of getting older. They say it with a weary sigh, a shrug of the shoulders. Well, I guess this is just my life now. It's accepted as a non-negotiable part of the aging process, right alongside graying hair or needing reading glasses. But I am here today to tell you, with a deep sense of conviction and care, that this is not a life sentence. It is not something you simply have to endure. While it's true that there are physiological changes that happen in our bodies as we age, the chronic nightly disruption of your sleep is not a destiny you have to accept. Believing that you have no control is one of the most disempowering feelings in the world. It can make you feel like a passive victim of your own biology. But what if you could become an active participant in your own well-being? What if you could make a simple, elegant change that could restore the sanctity of your sleep? This isn't about some miracle cure or a complex medical regimen. It's about understanding your body's changing needs and responding with a new, smarter strategy. It's about reclaiming your power. Think of your night's sleep as a beautiful, unbroken thread of silk. Every time you get up, that thread is cut. The goal is to keep that thread whole from the moment your head hits the pillow to the moment the sun greets you in the morning. That's not a fantasy. For so many people, it can become a new, achievable reality. The frustration you feel is valid. The exhaustion is absolutely real. But the idea that it's unchangeable is a myth. And it's a myth we are going to bust wide open today. The cycle of waking up tired, pushing through the day, feeling depleted, and then dreading the night to come is a difficult, draining one to be trapped in. It can feel like you're constantly running on an empty tank, always trying to catch up on rest, but never quite getting there. This cumulative sleep debt affects more than just your energy. It can have a profound impact on your cognitive function, making it harder to focus at work, to remember names and appointments, or to make clear decisions. It can weaken your immune system, making you more susceptible to every cold and virus that goes around. And it can cast a long shadow over your emotional landscape, making it harder to feel joy, optimism, and a deep connection to the people and activities you love. Sleep truly is a foundational pillar of health. When it crumbles, everything built upon it becomes less stable. The beautiful truth, however, is that it's also one of the most responsive pillars. When you start giving your body the uninterrupted rest it so desperately craves, the positive changes can be felt almost immediately, sometimes even after the very first night. It's like watering a plant that has been thirsty for far too long. You can almost see the life returning to its leaves. Waking up rested isn't a luxury. It's a biological necessity. And the path to achieving it is so much more straightforward than you might imagine. You do not need to accept a life of fragmented sleep and daytime fatigue. You deserve to feel vibrant, strong, and fully alive every single day. And that journey begins by understanding the one surprising thing that might be standing in your way. Surprising culprit. So what is this one mistake? What is this seemingly innocent, even healthy habit that is causing so much nocturnal trouble? When we think about what could be waking us up at night, our minds often jump to serious medical conditions like prostate issues for men, an overactive bladder, or other complex problems that would require a doctor's intervention. And while it is always critically important to consult with your healthcare provider to rule out any underlying medical issues, that should always be your first step. For a vast number of people, the answer is hiding in plain sight. It's a habit that is not only common, but is often actively encouraged by wellness culture. It's something you're likely doing with the very best of intentions, believing you are taking excellent care of your body. The surprising culprit, the well-intentioned mistake that is stealing your sleep, is that final glass of liquid you have in the last hour or two before you go to sleep. I'm talking about that healthy glass of water you keep on your nightstand. I'm talking about that calming, soothing cup of herbal tea you sip while you read in bed. I'm even talking about that small glass of milk or juice that you've had as a comforting bedtime ritual for years. It feels completely counterintuitive, doesn't it? We're told our whole lives to stay hydrated. We're told that chamomile tea helps us relax and fall asleep. And these things are absolutely true. But there is a crucial piece of the puzzle that is almost always left out of the conversation: timing. The problem isn't the liquid itself, it's the timing of when you drink it. For a younger body, a glass of water before bed is rarely a problem at all. But as we'll explore in just a moment, our bodies change, and our evening habits need to change along with them. This is the secret that so many people are missing. They focus on what they are drinking, but they completely overlook the critical importance of when they are drinking it. Let's paint a more detailed picture of a typical evening. You've had a good dinner, you've cleaned up the kitchen, maybe you've watched a bit of television or spoken to a loved one on the phone. Now it's time to wind down. You get ready for bed, you brush your teeth, you change into your pajamas, and then, as a final step in your well-established routine, you do one of two things. Maybe you reach for that tall glass of cool, refreshing water on your bedside table, taking a few big gulps to make sure you're properly hydrated through the night. Or perhaps you've just finished a lovely warm mug of peppermint or chamomile tea, its steam warming your hands, and you sip the last of it just moments before you turn off the light. You do this feeling virtuous. You feel like you are doing something responsible, something good for your health and your sleep. You're calming your system, you're hydrating your cells, you're ending your day on a healthy note. And in that moment, it feels right. But what you don't realize is that you have just handed your body a significant task to perform at the exact moment it's supposed to be shutting down all non-essential operations for the night. You've essentially given your internal systems a new job to do, and that job is processing and eliminating that final intake of fluid. You have started a timer, and that timer is set to go off in the middle of the night, right when you are in your deepest, most valuable phase of sleep. It is a classic case of a well-intentioned action having an unintended negative consequence. It's not your fault. Nobody ever explains this crucial detail. We see commercials for sleepy time teas, we read articles about the importance of drinking 8 glasses of water, but the specific context of an aging body's changing needs is rarely, if ever, discussed. It's a massive blind spot in our collective wellness knowledge. The cognitive dissonance here is completely understandable. You might be thinking, but wait a minute, I get so thirsty at night. Are you telling me I just have to lie there feeling parched? Or, my doctor explicitly told me to drink more water to avoid dehydration. This sounds like the complete opposite of that advice. I hear those concerns, and they are completely valid. So let me be perfectly clear. This is not about causing dehydration. This is about retiming your hydration for maximum benefit. The goal is not to drink less water overall, it's to drink that water much earlier in the day. It's about front-loading your hydration, making sure your body has all the fluid it needs long before you even start thinking about bed. The mistake isn't hydration, it's late-night hydration, and it's not just water. Many of those calming herbal teas, while not containing caffeine, can still have a mild diuretic effect, meaning they actively encourage your kidneys to produce more urine. And drinks like juice or milk contain sugars, proteins, and other components that your body has to metabolize, a process which also involves water and kidney function. So while you think you're just having a simple, calming drink, you're actually initiating a complex internal process that will inevitably lead to a full bladder a few hours later. The solution isn't to live with nighttime thirst. The solution is to be so well hydrated from your morning and afternoon intake that nighttime thirst doesn't even become an issue. It's a simple shift in schedule, but it has a profound impact on the internal clockwork of your body. We need to stop seeing that bedtime glass of water as a health necessity and start seeing it for what it often is, a potential saboteur of our sleep. It can be a difficult habit to break, I know, especially if it's deeply ingrained in your nightly routine. That ritual of a warm mug of tea can be psychologically comforting, a signal to your brain that the day is over and it's time to relax. That glass of water can feel like a necessary insurance policy against waking up with a dry mouth. These habits are tied to powerful feelings of comfort, security, and self-care. So, acknowledging that they might be the source of your problem can feel a bit like a betrayal of a trusted friend. But knowledge is power. Once you see the connection, you can't unsee it. Once you understand that this one small, seemingly insignificant choice could be the difference between a fragmented night and a restorative one, it gives you a clear and simple path forward. It moves the problem from the realm of a mysterious medical issue I can't control to the realm of a simple habit I can absolutely change. This is incredibly empowering. It takes the problem out of the hands of fate and puts it squarely back into yours. The culprit isn't a disease. The culprit isn't your body failing you. The culprit is simply a mismatch between an old habit and your body's current needs. It's an innocent mistake, but a mistake with significant consequences. And the most beautiful part of identifying a mistake like this is that it comes with an equally simple solution. We're not talking about a complicated diet, a strenuous exercise program, or an expensive supplement. We are talking about simply deciding when to stop drinking for the day. It's elegant in its simplicity. Before we get to the golden rule, it's important to understand the gentle science behind why this timing is so critical. Understanding the why will give you the conviction you need to stick with this new habit and transform your nights. Simple science. So let's pull back the curtain and look at the simple, elegant science of what's happening inside your body as you sleep. I promise this will be straightforward and clear, with no complex medical jargon. It's actually quite fascinating, and understanding it is the key to motivating yourself to make this powerful change. At the heart of this entire issue is a natural, normal change in our hormonal rhythm that happens as we get older. We all have a wonderfully intelligent hormone in our bodies that works like a master regulator for our internal water balance. For the sake of simplicity, let's call it the water-holding hormone. Its official name is antidiuretic hormone, or ADH, but what it does is much more important than what it's called. During the day, your body produces a certain amount of this hormone, allowing your kidneys to function normally, flushing out waste as needed. But at night, something special is supposed to happen. Your brain is designed to release a surge of this water-holding hormone after you fall asleep. This surge sends a clear and powerful signal to your kidneys. The signal essentially says, "Attention, it's nighttime. We are now entering rest and repair mode. I need you to slow down your production of urine significantly, conserve water, concentrate the urine you do make, and let this person sleep peacefully and uninterrupted until morning." It's an absolutely brilliant piece of biological design. It's your body's own built-in, fully automated system for ensuring a long night of restorative rest. Now, here is the crucial change that happens for many of us as we move past our 50s, 60s, and beyond. For reasons that are a completely natural and normal part of the aging process, the body's ability to produce that powerful nighttime surge of the water-holding hormone can decrease. The signal that tells the kidneys to hold on and concentrate urine isn't as strong or as clear as it used to be. It's as if the volume on that important message has been turned down a little bit each year. As a result, your kidneys don't get the loud and clear command to slow down, so they continue to process Fluids and produce urine at a rate that is much closer to their daytime rhythm. This is a fundamental physiological shift. It's not a disease, it's a change in regulation. At the very same time this is happening, the bladder itself can also change with age. The bladder wall, which is a muscle, can become a little less elastic, a little less flexible, meaning it might not be able to comfortably hold as much volume as it did when you were younger. On top of that, it can also become a bit more excitable or sensitive, meaning it sends the "I'm full" signal to your brain a little sooner, even when it's not completely at capacity. Now think about what happens when you combine these two natural age-related factors. You have kidneys that are producing more urine overnight than they used to, and you have a bladder that is potentially less able to hold it and is quicker to send the signal to empty. It creates the absolute perfect storm for nighttime awakenings. This is precisely where that late-night glass of water or cup of tea becomes so problematic. Let's use an analogy to make it crystal clear. Imagine your body's fluid processing system is like a factory with a day shift and a night shift. When you're younger, the night shift manager, your water-holding hormone, is very strict and very loud. At the end of the day, he gets on the intercom and announces, "Okay team, we are on minimal operations tonight. We only process what is absolutely essential. Everything else waits until the morning crew comes in." The factory becomes quiet and efficient, dedicated to rest and repair. But as you get older, that night shift manager gets a little more relaxed, a little quieter. The signal isn't as strong. Now imagine that just as this quieter night shift is starting, a huge, unexpected delivery truck arrives at the factory's loading dock. That delivery truck is the big glass of water you drank right before bed. The workers, your kidneys, don't have the strong, clear signal from the manager to ignore it. They see the delivery arrive and they say, "Well, I guess we have to process this now." So they get to work, filtering that fluid, processing it, and sending it down the line to the holding tank, which is your bladder. Before you know it, the holding tank is reaching its capacity, and the bright red alarm bell starts ringing, waking you up. You've essentially forced your night shift to do the work of a day shift, and the inevitable result is a system-wide interruption. This is what I call the midnight flush. You're inadvertently creating a surge of kidney activity at the very moment your body is supposed to be in its deepest state of rest. Understanding this process should bring a sense of profound clarity, not concern. This isn't a sign that your body is broken or failing you. It's simply a sign that its operating system has been updated with new parameters as it has aged. Your body is still incredibly wise and capable, but its internal rhythms have changed. Therefore, the way you interact with your body needs to change too. You can't keep using the same old user manual from your 20s and 30s and expect it to work perfectly in your 60s, 70s, or 80s. This knowledge gives you the why. It transforms the advice from a random rule into a logical, science-based strategy. When you feel that temptation to have a big drink before bed, you can now visualize what's happening internally. You can picture that delivery truck pulling up to the quiet factory. You can hear that relaxed night shift manager telling his crew to get to work on the unexpected load. And you can foresee the inevitable outcome, the alarm bell ringing at 2 in the morning. This mental image is incredibly powerful. It allows you to make a conscious, informed choice. You can say to yourself, "No, I'm not going to make that delivery tonight. I'm going to let my night shift rest. I'm going to honor my body's need for quiet and restoration." This simple scientific understanding is the foundation upon which a new, powerful habit can be built. It's not about fighting your body, it's about working in beautiful harmony with its new, natural rhythm, and that is a truly empowering way to approach your health.